Yeah, Raccoon had a great setup here. That's why I was asking if he was long from here. That's a 5-star. I mean, this is like, I mean, this is 5-star. You can't get better than that. Looks similar to LEDs. Very similar to LEDs. Right? Very similar. These are 5-star setups. You can hone in on those. Especially on these micro small cap names. They can double, triple in a short amount of time. Even quadruple. You know, you're gonna get to your first million, you know, very quickly. Mox C. Yeah, 3 days ago here was a good entry here. Didn't have much juice yet. But yeah, it had a good setup here. It was a beautiful setup. 4.5 stars. Uxin. Yeah, down here it was a very good setup here. May 18th. Since then it hasn't had any setups. You still in it? That's great. Yeah, it's been surfing the 10-day the whole way. This is why you know, sell partial at the 3 to 5 days and then you trail the rest with the 10-day. Veil looks good. Yeah, it looks good, but what's the ADR on it? Yeah, some of these are easier to see on the 1 hour chart, like especially this IHT that had initial breakout but failed, but it did have another breakout here in the low 9s. You couldn't really see it on the daily, but you clearly saw it on the 60-minute. But LEDs and the other ones, they were very clear on the daily chart. How can you say LEDs was not obvious on the daily chart? I don't know what you are smoking, but this was super obvious. You don't need intraday charts to find LEDs or this other one, MOXC. You don't need intraday charts. Sometimes they can be useful though. This TGLS looks great. Wow, looks beautiful. ADR 8.6. Beautiful setup. Look at this sense from the opening range highs last week. Look at it now. Up 44% from the opening range highs. That's an EP. That's not a biotic related, but yeah, diagnostics and research. It's an EP on study data. This is called small account edge. Those who have smaller accounts, these are the stocks to trade. High ADR, lower cap stocks. EOLS. I mean, I guess it looks decent. It's probably too late to buy it now. It's already gone, but yeah, it's decent. It made a nice move, 40%, surfed the 10-day, tightened up, and now it's kind of trying to go again. I don't know. It's not super explosive, but I mean, it can go, I guess. Roku needs a lot of work to do. It needs some work. EGLE, it's too choppy. Needs to tighten up. It had a decent setup here. Now it's all over the place. Rida, I think it needs to go sideways a bit. Had a big move. And it's surfing the 10-day beautifully, but I think it needs to go sideways here at least 3-4 more days, I think. Pierce had a setup 2 days ago. LKCO, that's old LK, right? I'm sorry, what? Starting to look really good? What do you mean? It's up 2 days in a row. It was decent, like... What do you mean starting to look good? This thing is not close to... It's not remotely being a setup here. Just randomly up 2 days in a row. Let's focus on things that actually look like setups, where you're gonna make money. MDG8, yeah, looks pretty decent. Very thin, super thin stock. But those of you with tiny accounts, you know, these things can be really nice. It's pretty much a 5-star setup. Look at this. Looks pretty decent. Yeah, the biggest drawdowns always happen after great runs. And that's how it should be. If you don't have a drawdown, means you're taking no risk, means you're making no money. Like if you have a set of rules and you double your account and your drawdowns double in size, that's a feature, not a bug. That's how it should be. Revolutionary, right? Oh my god, NOVN. What if it actually goes to 25 today? BB taking out lows. I hope some of you got it. For me it was just too illiquid, but this was like perfect also. And also look at what it did. It gapped above this moving average. So many people, they call out these EPs. They gap up, hit some declining moving average, and then they fail. This is very important. It actually gapped over that moving average, tested it, held it, and took out opening range highs. And you had this enormous volume out of the gate. By the time the opening range highs triggered, this thing had already traded like, more than average daily volume. 10 times the average daily volume. Neglected stock. I don't know anything about the news. Is it significant? Is it not? Is it just, clueless Wall Street bet guys buying it? I have no idea, but the volume tells the story. Doesn't even mean anything if the news are significant. But if it gaps up, volume is big and takes out opening range highs, you better pay attention. And it's a low float. Yeah, but the markets trend only a third of the time, but even if the markets go sideways, there can be individual stocks that make big moves.